You know, October and a bunch of September are celebrated as National Hispanic Heritage Month. We like to celebrate that every year at Essex County College with student life and activities.
So what I did is everyone knows in Hispanic heritage, we are the most combined people that we have. We say we're Puerto Rican, we say we're Dominicans, but our heritage is Taino. We come from the Indians, okay? We come from the Mayans. We have such a rich history when it comes to being a Hispanic person. So it's not just about being Cuban or Guatemalan or Mexican or Honduras or Puerto Rican or Uruguay. It's basically, this is our road call. All of our countries here all of our flags, all of the flags that I created represent every single culture that we have as far as Hispanic heritage is concerned. And anyone knows that our fists are our voice. And that for me was one of the most important representations that I needed to do between showing off the Taino culture as well as the Mayan culture, because that is the richest part of our history.
That's a really, really awesome piece, and I really like your line work. The fist is very...
Thank you.
It is very cool. It's cartoony, and what I enjoy is that all of your flags are not perfect little square boxes. They're single one is completely unique. You drew each box. It wasn't, you didn't, you can tell each flag it's on its own. You didn't copy anything.
No, it wasn't. I did it all. It was all freehand. So this was it was something that I felt that for me, and the fist itself was when I was looking it up, it was actually just a plain fist. I incorporated the Taino flag, because this is the original Taino flag, and these are their colors, which are green and red, and the rich yellow. And then obviously you see here, this is the sun, and then down here we have the Mayan symbol, which could have been a pyramid, could have been anything. I chose to strategically the turtle because of the details. If you look inside the turtle, it's a maze. So a lot of the ruins in Mayan culture had their mazes just like Egyptians did. So you may have gone in through one way, but came out on the other side in a different direction.
It's a nice metaphor for life. Sometimes we come in a different direction, we leave another way, right?
Yep. That's how it goes.
How important is expressing your culture through your art to you? Is that something that is on your mind when you're creating every piece, or like just for this piece that you're doing right now? Like where does your Hispanic culture come into play when you're expressing yourself in art? How can you tell us that?
So my Hispanic culture comes into play with everything that I do. I carry it with pride. Just because my paintings won't actually show like the heritage doesn't mean that I don't like express it. So what I'll do is I'll have my paintings out, and for the most part, if I'm displaying at an art show, which I love doing, but we haven't been able to do for a while, I kind of let my paintings speak for themselves. And then when I talk to people, they'll ask about like who I am and what I've been through, and then I'll let it be known, like, I am a Hispanic artist and this is what I do. And I don't want my culture and my heritage to define my artwork, but I do want it to be a very big part, because we do need representation, you know? We got to find the next Frida.
Yeah, absolutely. Frida Kahlo?
Yes, we have to find the next Frida.
What is the name of the largest island in the Caribbean? Just give it a guess if you don't know it. What is the name of the largest island in the Caribbean? Okay, Miss Lopez put Cuba. Sarah, do you have a guess? All right, Sarah puts Mexico. Let's see what the largest island in the Caribbean was. It is Cuba, right. Miss Lopez on the board. All right, Sarah, you're good with 7. Miss Lopez, you've finally joined the board. Congratulations.
Finally got the
family.
game. I'm finally in the game.
Congratulations, familia. Here we go. Question number 11. Before it was a month-long event, it was observed in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week. What year was it expanded into the month-long celebration that we know it as today? And what year? So Hispanic Heritage Week was started in 1968 by President Lyndon Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
But what year was it expanded into the entire month-long celebration? All right, Ms. Lopez says 1988. Sarah, any guess? 1968. Okay, let's see. Correct answer is 1988. Yep. Paint this corn up nice. Okay. Thin little layer. You know, it's going to come off on a little bit on the plate as you're spinning it. Okay. So we want to throw, just make sure we get it nice and coated on each side of the corn. All right. Now we are going to put just a little bit more of our elote seasoning on there. Just a sprinkling. Okay. Just right around. Not much because we got a bunch on there already, but just for a little extra flavor. And finally, we're going to top it off with some cheese. Now, like I said, you can put any cheese you want. I am doing a little Italian on this one, putting some Parmesan just because I love Parmesan. That's a lot of Parmesan. All right.
So this is where now you're going to have to get dirty so that you can rub it around and make sure it's all even.
Exactly. So spin it around your plate just like you were coating chicken or anything like that with egg. So don't be afraid to get messy. Make sure you scoop up all your sauce. And right here, we have a nice, delicious piece of elote. Okay, this is dressed up corn. I'm going to taste it. Let's see if it's good. Oh, I'm sorry to do this
That
to you.
looks amazing.
It's really good.
Oh my God. Yes.
This is the real deal right here. Okay.
I know. I can tell. It looks amazing.
So,
I can't listen. I'll send you my address. You send me yours and we'll swap it.
now, as you can see, this was not hard at all. I didn't really cook anything. Well, we did, but it was just corn. But the corn, the tradition of it is what we're celebrating today for Hispanic Heritage Month. We hope you and your families are doing well during this time. We will see you next time.
have found that it is so hard for us sometimes to share where we're trying to go because we are deathly afraid that if I say where I'm trying to go and I don't get there, I could be judged. People might say, oh, snap, oh, you think you're going to be a doctor? And all of a sudden, we start to play small in life because we don't want people to judge us on the big life that we want. And I'm here to just let you know, this is a safe place, a safe space, I should say, where you can go ahead and share that and understand that, listen, you will always have more haters than those who are fans. Let me just say that again. You will always have more haters than fans. So be okay with sharing it. And again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. You will have the last laugh. Let them laugh first. All the haters can laugh at you. You can say, I want to be a physician. I want to be in physical therapy. I want to get a BSN in nursing, right? All of the people can laugh now, but you will laugh last when you are clear. You know exactly where you're going to try to go. So that way you can tell time, this is where I want you to be. So I saw physician. So here's some questions I want you to think about. And I call this the clarity cocktail. Basically what I mean by the clarity cocktail is a bunch of mixtures of things together that will absolutely help you to get more clarity in where you're trying to go. Anthony said, I want to get my bachelor's degree in architecture technology. That is absolutely awesome. That's good that you know exactly what that is. It's super important. Good job, Anthony. And guys, feel free as the presentation is going to just go and put in the chat where you're trying to go. It's so important because this also tells people how to help you. When we see, oh, snap, this is what Anthony wants to do, we're able to go and say, Anthony, hey, I know somebody with that degree. Let me hook you up and let me tell you how you can hang out with that person. So now you're spending valuable time with someone who can actually help you get to where it is that you're trying to go. So when you don't say what your goals are, it's hard for people who are around you, who are here for you, to show you how to go and maximize that experience. So good job writing that in the chat. So now in Clarity Cocktail, here's the questions you want to think about. What do you want? What do you want? And not just what do you want, but you want to write it down. You want to write it down. Have you ever had somebody where you had something and you wanted it and you forgot it? No, am I the only one with bad memory? Or like, I know I'm older, but not that old. Okay.
Geo, I'm older than you, and I got a good memory, so that's not an excuse.
That's it. Don't come for me. Right. right. So you think about it, Jada. Yeah, I'm seeing people put in their professions in here. I'm loving this. Good job, Jada. Surgeon. I love it. So when I talk about what do you want, right? You write that stuff down, and you want to keep it around you in case you forget. When you're doing those assignments, and you're like, yo, I don't want to do those assignments no more. Those are the times where you want to write something by your desk, something where you're doing your work, reminding yourself, whether it's a screensaver on your computer, on your phone, you want to document it, you want to jot it down so that you're able to keep it at the forefront so that it makes sense why you're going through the hell that you might be going through, right? Sometimes if we're just going to keep it a buck, keep it honest, some of the journeys that we're trying to take to get to the heaven that we aspire to get to, it requires us to go through a little bit of hell. And sometimes if we don't write it down, we forget, why am I going through this in the first place? And so it's important to go ahead and write it down. Then the next question you want to think about is, when do you want to achieve it by? When do you want to achieve this goal, right? So here's the reason why this question is so important. Let's say Jessica, for example, I see her on the screen, right? So let's say Jessica, for example, says, I want to go to California. Cool. But here's the thing though. If I ask you, you say you want to go to California, the question I would ask you is, when do you want to get there by? And here's the reality of that question. Here's why this question is so important. Because if Jessica says, I want to get there in a week, well, that's cool. We could drive there. If Jessica says, I want to get there in the same day, that now requires a flight. You see, when we determine when we're trying to get there, it helps to direct our focus and helps us to actually make decisions. So if you're going to say, hey, I want to go and graduate from Essex in 2 years, or I want to graduate from Essex in the next 6 months, depending on how fast you want to go is going to determine, should you get a student advisor? Should you get a counselor? Should you be doing tutoring? The best way to go and make those decisions on how to best spend your time is determined by when do you want to get the goal accomplished. If you don't know when, it could take forever. Many students are in school for a long period of time, and yes, life happens. So sometimes we got to call a time out. Sometimes we have children, we have jobs, we have family to take care of. So sometimes that can cause a delay or a timeout in our journey, in our college journey. But at the same time, I would tell you that for many people, the reason why it takes so long is because you gave yourself too much time.
Hello, Wolverine fans. This is Michael Dowdy, Director of Athletics at Essex County College. I hope that everyone is doing well and staying safe out there. While our student athletes have not been able to compete this year, they have been training in small groups and following all local, state, and CDC guidelines to keep themselves in the best possible shape during these difficult times. We are hopeful and looking forward to watching our student athletes compete during the spring season. While our student athletes prepare for that upcoming season, let's take a look back and highlight the year that was back in the 2019-2020 athletic year. The Essex County College Wolverines continued their tradition of academic and athletic success during the calendar year. As a department, the Wolverines accumulated the following athletic accomplishments: 2 regular season Garden State Athletic Conference titles, 4 NJCAA Region 19 championship appearances, 2 NJCAA Region 19 runner-up finishes. 2 of our teams captured the NJCAA Region 19 championship trophy. Those same 2 teams captured the NJCAA East District Championship, and 3 of our teams went to the National Championship Tournament. Now let's dive into a quick recap for each team's 2019-2020 season. The Lady Wolverines soccer program continued their recent success on the pitch this year, completing the regular season with a 7-3-1 overall record. Essex finished second in the Garden State Athletic Conference and earned a runner-up finish in the 2019 Region 19 Championship Tournament. The Lady Wolverines' runner-up finish in that championship game marked the 3rd consecutive appearance in the Region 19 Championship game over the last 3 seasons. The next sport we will recognize is the men's soccer program. The men's soccer program reached new heights in the 2019 year and compiled the program's best season in the last 10 years, finishing the regular season with an overall record of 9-1-1, which was good enough to make the Wolverines year 2019 Garden State Athletic Conference champions. On November 2nd, 2019, the Wolverines defeated nationally ranked Mercer County Community College by a score of 3-0 to claim the 2019 NJCAA Region 19 championship. This championship victory made the Wolverines back-to-back Region 19 tournament champions. The Wolverines advanced and finished as the 2019 Division I East District Tournament runner-up and earned an at-large selection to the 2019 NJCAA National Tournament. This was the first time in 10 seasons the Wolverines advanced to the national tourney. Over the course of the 2019 season, Essex men's soccer was ranked in the national polls for 10 consecutive weeks, peaking as high as 5th in the country and finished the 2019 season as the 15th best team in the country. The next sport we will highlight is the Wolverines cross country and track and field program. During the cross country season, Essex student athletes excelled on the course this year, making improvements to their times each and every week. That's a testament to their hard work all season long. All of the improvements throughout the season culminated with the NJCAA Region 19 Championship meet. In the women's race, Aaliyah Gordon and India Norman both placed in the top 10, earning first team All Region 19 honors. In the men's division, Essex placed second overall as a team, earning a running-up finish. The Wolverines were led by runners Navaski Anderson and David Oliveira. A total of 5 runners, 3 males and 2 females, were also named first team All-Conference in the Garden State Athletic Conference. The Wolverines carried over that success from the course over to the indoor track season, where the runners dominated the field each week. They bested the competition from many notable NCAA Division I competitors. The dominance included Wolverines setting numerous meet records throughout the year, including 3 different meet records at the Monmouth Invitational. The Lady Wolverines also wowed the field at the 2019-20 Colgate Games. a series of races over a 3-month span that accumulates points. When the Colgate Games concluded, India Norman was crowned the sprint hurdles champion, and 2 other Lady Wolverines finished in the top 3, Samara Edward and Aaliyah Gordon. The season culminated with the 2020 NJCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships held at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. A total of 8 runners represented Essex at the national meet, competing across multiple events. The men's and women's relay races competed with the top teams at the meet, and 2 individuals shined. Sophomores Navaski Anderson and Leon Clark both placed second overall in their respective events, earning the silver medal and second team NJCAA All-American honors. Both Clark and Anderson have continued their athletic and academic pursuits at SEC powerhouse Mississippi State. The last sport to highlight from last year is the men's basketball program, who had a tremendous season to place the Wolverines back on the national landscape. The program finished the regular season with an overall record of 17-6, going 13-1 in Region 19 and a perfect 8-0 in the Garden State Athletic Conference. The spotless record during conference play earned the Wolverines the 2020 regular season Garden State Athletic Conference title and the #1 overall seed entering the NJCAA Region 19 tournament. Essex rolled through a semifinal matchup with the County College of Morris and then came from behind to beat Raritan Valley in the final, claiming the 2020 Region 19 championship. The Wolverines' successful season continued with a win over Orange Community College, clinching the 2020 East District B championship and a spot in the 2020 NJCAA Men's Basketball National Championship Tournament. The Wolverines earned the number 15 seed in that tournament and were slated to take on number 2 seeded Des Moines Area CC before the current COVID-19 pandemic canceled all winter and spring NJCAA championships. While this was an extremely tough way to end a season, I'm extremely proud of our student athletes and coaches for their accomplishments this season. Overall, it was a great year for the Wolverines. We are looking forward to seeing you all on your respective playing surfaces in the near future. Until then, stay safe and mask up.